Now we get to our famous sentence, and we're going to look at it. Now there's an I that's in the Greek that doesn't get translated. Isn't that interesting? He's saying, I let the woman learn. You know, if you put that in there, it sounds a little bit more like what his practice is, doesn't it? They leave that out and say, let the woman. You see how that turns it into a command there instead of I let the woman? In a minute, I'm going to show you in the Greek where that I is there. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor. Now, to usurp authority over thee. All that is translated from one word. The one word is authenten. Authenten. The word thee is not there. Now, the Greeks have 16 different words for thee. They have a male version of thee. They have a female version of thee. They have a neuter version of thee. And they have all, 16 versions, and it's not here. The Greeks are very, very free with the word thee, but it's not here. Now, the ending of this Greek word, the ein, that tells us that we're dealing with a to form of a verb. Now, if I say to run, that's the to form of the verb. You understand? Now, if I say runner, that is the noun form. See, we've made run into a noun. Okay, y'all got me on that. So to make it a little trickier, this word is used only once in the entire New Testament, which is, most words, there's several verses, and we can go to this verse and figure out, oh, okay, I understand it better after reading that verse. It's only mentioned once. Now, there was a man who was a grammar teacher who defined this word, authenten, in the year 180. So we're pretty close to the time here of Paul. And let's see, I'll make a stab at pronouncing his name, Phainicus. And he described it to thrust out from oneself. Now, I don't want to embarrass anyone too bad, but we're talking about the anatomy here. We're not talking about female anatomy, okay? And it also is tied in with the concept of to desire. So something is being thrust out from oneself while desiring. So we're definitely talking about a sexy word here, folks. We really are, and that guy's definition, once you understand what he's saying, is a pretty sexy definition. Now, there was a man named Moritz in the 2nd century, and he was a teacher. And he wrote down, do not use the word authenten, students. It's too coarse. So it was a coarse word that he told them not to mess with. Don't use that word. Now, we have a man named John Chrysostom, and he lived from 347 to 407. Now, he defined the word as sexual license. Okay, sexual license basically means sexual immorality. This is what he's saying it was. But now the next one is the one that really gets us here. Clement of Alexandria in the year 215. There were some women who were involved in Christian groups who were coming up with the same sort of teaching, empowering through sex. All right? So they were having sexual orgies in their love feasts. So can you imagine anything more disgusting to God? Now the verb is being turned into a noun, just like run and runner, and to run and runner. And they're calling these women authentia. It's the same word. It has the same Strong's number, you see. It's just now used as a noun. So these women who were being involved in sexual orgies were tying in the concept of empowering through sex or passing on knowledge from Eve in sex. Now I want to show you the Greek words of this whole passage. Now it starts out, gune. It can mean wife or woman. You can read it either way. Now, when we get to the word that's translated silence, what was the number, Rhonda? 27. Very good. Guess what? This is the female version of that same word. When it's a female version, it's translated silence. When it's the male version, it's translated peaceful. But yet, they're both in the same chapter. And they're written by the same author, Paul. So how can we have the same word in the same sentence, male and female version? And guess what they did? To hide what they had done, they put a new Strong's number on the female version. In other Greek words, both the female version of the word and the male version of the word have the same Strong's number. But here they gave them two different Strong's number. The male one was defined as peaceful. The female one was defined as silence. I started finding out some interesting stuff about this point. See this little funny thing at the top here, that little W? It looks like a W that collapsed in. When that comes at the end of a verb, it means the word I is there. The word I. Now, there's another way in Greek to add I. There's a word you can add, but if you add it at the end of a verb like that, you're saying I do this. I run, I walk, or whatever when you put that at the end. So this is I let learn, and that is never translated. I haven't seen a translation yet that translates that I that is there. And in my paper, Paul and Women Teachers, I've got a reference to that, and where you can go and find out, that I ought to be there. With all obedience, didasken, EIN ending. Okay, we already know, right? That's a to form of the verb. See the EIN and didasken, to teach. It's the exact same word when Jesus told us to go out and disciple and to teach. It's the same word. Same word is right here. But a woman, I'm not allowing, nor, and there's the authentine. Now, I put down sexually seduce. It's not quite the same. We frankly don't have an English word that's identical. We just don't. I mean, our F word doesn't quite mean the same thing. They had it to the point of where, like, this was on a level with holiness or something, you see. It was empowering. It was giving knowledge from Eve. It was mediators. So it's a whole different culture, like I say. So we don't have, to sexually seduce is close, but it's not like a dating situation where it's sexual seduction. It is a temple situation, and it's linked with worship. It's linked with women who were mediators. So in saying this, in writing this, what was Paul's motive? First of all, he started out, y'all remember, where he was warning Paul? And he said, stay there in Ephesus so you may command certain ones not to teach false doctrines anymore. So he's warning Timothy about these false teachers. So that was one of his motives, was to stop these false teachers. He wanted to stop them teaching the myths. Remember the myths I've told you about the Amazon women? There's more of them, folks. I could keep you here for a long time telling you all these myths. Anyway, and the other thing was they wanted to stop teachers such as wedding song Hymenaeus, she's mentioned by name, from teaching blasphemy. And we know for sure that she was. She's mentioned by name as a false teacher. And the other thing was to prevent, now these could have been unconverted wives, they could have been women coming who maybe, we don't know for sure whether they had husbands or not, but Paul didn't think they were there to worship God. He had some serious doubts about it. The doctrines of Artemis and also the Gnostic philosophy is interlaced in this whole passage. I haven't even got to all of it yet. The other thing was he was wanting to prevent these women from teaching their own particular form of sexual seduction as worship. And this was a very popular religion. Are y'all surprised? Now look at the next verse that follows that one. So we've got 1 Timothy 2:13. For Adam was formed first, then Eve. So why is he saying that? He is counteracting the teaching that Eve was formed first. See? No. Adam was formed first. Get it straight. And then Eve was formed first. There was none of this, deceiving Adam that he was first. And Adam was not the one deceived. Now you see, they had taught that Adam was deceived by God into thinking that he was created first. Paul said, no. Adam was not deceived. Eve was deceived and became a sinner. Now he's saying here that Eve did not have special knowledge from eating that fruit. See, it's all tying together. It's interlocking. It's interweaving. Now this particular Greek phrase, but women will be saved. Now where they translated it saved, it's from an obsolete Greek word that means safe. What did Artemis mean? What did it mean? You remember? All right. It meant safe. So Paul is saying that women will be safe throughout the childbearing if they, and he's talking about the husband and the wife, continue in faith, love, and holiness with self-control. Now, the Phillips Bible is not always an accurate Bible, but they did get it right on this verse, and it says women will come safely through childbirth. So the Greek word there is actually safe and not saved. So there's more about this in Paul and Women Teachers. Now, there's a lot of ways that we understand that Paul did not mean that all women were not to teach. Here in Titus 2:2-3, he's talking about that aged men be temperate, grave, sober-minded, sound in faith, in love, and patience. The aged women, and actually that could be translated elder women too. The phrase there could be elder. So that opens up a whole new possibility for that particular phrase. Anyway, the elder women likewise be reverent in demeanor, not slanderers nor enslaved to much wine, teachers of that which is good. Actually, where it's translated teachers of what is good, the Greek phrase is right down at the bottom, and it means a teacher of the right. It has to do with the right way of life. When you change it, a teacher of the good, it could be good recipes, good advice. But when you start saying a teacher of the right, then you're talking about a teacher of the right way. So Paul himself is telling older women to be teachers of the right way of life.